Many parents turn to advocates and parent educators for guidance, clarity, and support as they strive to secure the best outcomes for their children with disabilities. How that advocate supports the family can make a significant difference. The approach an advocate uses can influence how parents see themselves in the process, their confidence, their ability to communicate effectively, and their willingness to collaborate. Discover a relationship building approach to advocacy that protects parental rights, reduces conflict, and helps families engage confidently in the IEP or IFSP process. In just minutes, you'll learn the core mindset and principles of collaborative advocacy.
Individuals who practice collaborative advocacy voluntarily adhere to the following guiding principles. These principles outline how collaborative advocates engage with families, educators, and service providers in ways that strengthen collaboration and keep the focus on children. As advocates, we recognize that everyone deserves to be treated with respect. We remain child-centered, remembering the child is at the heart of every decision a team makes. We encourage meaningful parent participation and help them engage confidently. We use collaborative problem-solving to work through disagreements. We recognize the importance of strong team relationships and work to strengthen them. We remain professional in our communication. We remain honest and trustworthy. We stay informed about special education and early intervention procedures, regulations, and best practices to help guide parents. We protect sensitive information and ensure it is shared appropriately and respectfully. And we help connect families with resources to build a strong support network. Together, these principles guide our approach to advocacy, helping us support families, reduce conflict, and keep the child's best interest at the center of every conversation. Now let's take a closer look at each principle and examine how it might look in practice. Let's start with dignity. Dignity means recognizing the inherent value of every person at the table. In practice, this looks like assuming good intentions, using respectful language, and ensuring families feel heard, even when there's disagreement. For example, when a parent feels dismissed during meetings, a collaborative advocate might pause the conversation and say, "Let's make sure we fully understand the family's concerns before we move forward." That simple shift can restore respect and help everyone re-engage productively. The next principle collaborative advocates align their practices to is being child-centered. This means remembering that every decision and every conversation is ultimately about the child. When discussions drift toward policies, positions, or past frustrations, a collaborative advocate helps redirect the team back to the child's strengths, needs, and goals. For instance, if a meeting becomes focused on what services can't be provided, an advocate might ask, "How does this option support the child's learning and development right now?" This helps the team refocus on outcomes rather than obstacles.
Another core principle is empowerment. Empowerment means encouraging meaningful parent participation and helping families engage confidently in the process. Rather than speaking for parents, collaborative advocates help parents clarify their priorities, understand their options, and find their voice. For example, before an IEP meeting, an advocate might help a parent prepare by identifying key questions or practicing how to express concerns. Over time, this support builds confidence, so families feel better equipped to participate independently. The next principle is collaboration and is at the heart of this approach. Collaborative problem solving means listening for understanding, identifying shared goals, and working through differences without escalating conflict. Imagine a situation where a parent and school, or provider, disagree about services. Instead of taking sides, a collaborative advocate helps uncover what's underneath each position. They might seek to understand what the parent is most concerned about, or what constraints the school or provider is navigating. This creates space for solutions that respect both perspectives. Closely connected is relationship building. Strong relationships make difficult conversations possible. Collaborative advocates intentionally work to strengthen relationships between families and schools, or service providers, even when tensions exist. This might look like encouraging respectful communication, discouraging demeaning comments, or helping repair trust after a challenging meeting. A collaborative advocate might help repair trust following a tough meeting by saying the following to a parent. These meetings can be difficult. Would you like to discuss your greatest concerns and possible next steps?
Professionalism, integrity, competence, and confidentiality. These principles guide how collaborative advocates show up, especially when the stakes are high and families are relying on them for accurate, trustworthy support. Professionalism means communicating clearly and respectfully, being prepared, following through on commitments, and remaining calm, even when emotions run high. It sets the tone for productive conversations and helps keep meetings focused and respectful. Integrity means being honest and trustworthy. Collaborative advocates share accurate information, are transparent about options, and avoid making promises or guarantees about outcomes. When explaining choices, such as dispute resolution options, advocates present information neutrally so families can make informed decisions that align with their goals. Competence is closely connected to integrity. It means staying informed about special education and early intervention processes, understanding the limits of one's role, and knowing when additional information or expertise is needed. For example, if a parent asks a question and the advocate doesn't know the answer, a collaborative advocate doesn't guess or provide incomplete information. Instead, they might say, "I don't have that information right now, but I can look into it and follow up." This approach builds trust and ensures families are supported with reliable, up-to-date guidance. Confidentiality ensures that sensitive information shared by families is protected and handled respectfully. Collaborative advocates obtain permission before sharing information and are clear about how information will be used. Honoring confidentiality is essential to maintaining trust and safety. Together, professionalism, integrity, competence, and confidentiality create a foundation of trust. They ensure advocacy is ethical, informed, and focused on supporting families in ways that are respectful, accurate, and empowering.
The final principle is community connections. Collaborative advocates recognize that families don't navigate these systems alone. Connecting families to local resources, parent networks, and learning opportunities helps build long-term support beyond a single meeting or issue. Together, these guiding principles shape how collaborative advocates engage with families and teams. They help reduce conflict, protect parental rights, strengthen relationships, build trust, and keep the focus where it belongs, on the child. Collaborative advocacy isn't about avoiding hard conversations. It's about engaging in them with skill, intention, and care. So families feel supported, teams stay connected, and children are better served.